Oh wait, you stopped it?
Well, it was a little longer than I
Oh,
wanted.
we usually don't. Okay. All good. You guys, I am so excited. Welcome to the last team meeting of 2023, right? Oh my gosh. Okay, let's try that again. Welcome to the last team meeting of 2023. Love it. And I invited this lady to be our guest honor because lunch that some of you are eating already and more will get, I'm sure, has been courtesy of Focus Title and Lynn. Privileged to be in partnership with you. So thank you for everything you do to support all of them, whether you use Focus Title or not. And if you don't, you know, we should chat. But whether you do or not, you benefit because this gal pours into us in terms of knowledge and food and all of the things. So thank you for everything you've done all year to support.
And I'll just speak up real quick and say that we have had a very successful 2023, and I owe it all to all of you. You guys are wonderful to work with. I adore you all. You all know that. And we appreciate you giving us your time and your business throughout the year. So.
All right, we're switching up the order a little bit. I'm going to hand it over to Charlie to get us started.
Sweet.
So here you go.
All right, you ready to rock and roll?
Let's go.
All right, here we go. So here's what I got for you. I'm going to give you a little bit of a recap as to where we are since we're 11 months through the year. And guess what? December won't change a whole lot in terms of the trajectory of the market. Then I'm also going to go over some macro trends that I think you should be paying attention to as how you set up your businesses for success in 24. And I'll give you my this is my own personal opinion around where I think the market's headed for us locally in southeastern Wisconsin in 24. Make sense? Perfect. All right. So starting off, every year for the last 5 years, I've given a phrase of focus that we charge our leadership teams with. And sometimes I'm consistent with bringing it up to the larger groups. Sometimes I'm not as great. This group probably haven't been as great in terms of like what our focus has been with our leadership teams to serve you, but I just wanted to recap as to like what we focused on in 23. Okay. Today is day one. If you haven't heard of the phrase, Jeff Bezos, every time he pens a letter to his shareholders, he talks about today with a day one mindset. And the day one mindset is you got to take chances, you got to invest in your business, and we're going to move fast and make a mess, but we're going to find success along the way. Hopefully you felt there've been a lot of change. If you look back at 23, there's been a lot of change in Southwest. We did it with a day one mindset in order to help elevate how we serve you in order to help you find success. 2 was all around being consistent as to who we are and what we do every day and how our leadership team shows up to serve you. And 3 was being curious. And we were very curious in 23. Curious from the standpoint of we tried a lot of things that worked and we tried a lot of things that didn't work, right? But we were constantly curious as to finding new ways to pour into you, pour into your business, bring you new ideas, bring you 72 sold. Some of it worked for a little bit and then it didn't work. And then we were like, all right, moving on. But we were curious to help you find success. And so in January, I'll come back to hit you with what we're focusing on in 24. But I wanted to recap because there's been a lot of change in specifically this market center and we've moved really, really fast. Sometimes it felt like we were moving really slow, but we were slowing down to speed up. And I say that to you in facing the facts of like, it was a tough market. And the market was down in southeastern Wisconsin this year. It'll be down like 18%. And that's coming off of a year where it was down last year too. And my point in message to that is if you're still sitting here in December of 23, geared up, ready to go for 24, you're fucking ready to go. Because here's what I also do know. Per agent productivity, one of my hypotheses for 24, per agent productivity is going to be on the rise. Okay. Per agent productivity will be on the rise. Why? 160,000 agents will leave the industry by Q1 of 24. So if you were able to survive the storm that came at us in 22 and 23, you're ready to thrive in 24. Okay. So I'll help you understand why it is that I see what it is that I see. So let's just go recap as to like what we just went through. Okay. And for the last couple months, I've been giving you guys this theme of, is the market stabilizing? Is the market stabilizing? And I always say 1 month is an anomaly, 2 months is a trend. So let's take a look at the trends going back to March of this year. If you take a look at our lead metrics, which are the most important, listings taken and contracts written units, it's down 27 in March, down 31, down 27, and you can see how it effectively correlates to closed units in the following 30 to 60 to 90 days, right? And to be honest with you, spring was a bloodbath. It was. And then something happened in August. Okay. In August, listings taken units were down 4%, and it was a significant trend change versus what we saw in June and July and, in the prior months before that. And in August, I was like, that's interesting. Let's see what happens in September. September happens. That's interesting. So then guess what happened in October, 60 days following the August trend change? There was a trend change in closed units. We went from a down 20% on any given month to a down 5%. And I said, that's interesting. So then if you look, October, we saw a similar trend. So we saw 3 months of a trend line at a down 4%, give it, on listings taken across the entirety of the Southeastern Wisconsin Metro MLS. And you look at that and you say, all right, there's a trend there. And then something popped up in November. And for the first time in 2023, listings taken units for the market was positive versus prior year within the 1 month window. And my response was, that's interesting. So I'm paying attention to what's going to happen in December as correlated to listings taken units, because then you saw in November, closed units were down 5%. And now all of a sudden you're starting to see what? An upswing on the trend change, right? Which is what created this whole concept that I had about 90 days ago is the market stabilizing? We'll see. The thing I'm paying attention to most is what happens to listings taken units in December, January, February. Because if we get 2 or 3 months of positive trend change, what do you think will happen in March, April, May of closed units? Could go up. So first little hypothesis that I have heading into 24, okay? Let's just take a quick look back too on a variety of other things. Showing time activity, this is North America. Showing time activity, you can see the orange line is 2023. 2023 is falling behind where we were in 22 and 21, but ahead of where we were in one other year. This is North America. Now let's look at where we were in Wisconsin. My point to this from a visual representation standpoint is there's still very strong buyer demand that is outpacing where the macro environment of North America is in Wisconsin. So positive news again as we head into 24. Okay. When you look at units that went under contract in the month of November, there were 1,329 units that went under contract in the month of November. Okay. Another little nugget I'll share with you, there's probably going to be about another 1,200 units that'll go under contract in December. So combine the 2 months, it's about 2,500 units. Okay, 2,500 units will go under contract in the month of December, which also meant that there were 2,500 units that came onto the market from a listings perspective. And many people in our industry of 5,000 agents in Southeastern Wisconsin take off between November, like basically Thanksgiving, until January. And guess what? They can basically effectively watch 2,500 units pass them by. And my challenge to you is in November and December, many of you did, and I can see it in the results that you have achieved. Many of you didn't, which is a testament to where it is that you're going and building momentum into 24. If you feel like you're in a little bit of a lull right now in December, we got to take a hard look at your activities in September, October, and November as to how you set yourself up, because there are 2,500 units that will close in between November and December. Okay. The bottom line here, though, is the down 3.6%, or basically down 50 units in the month of November versus November last year. Positive trend line change. Again, for context too, guys, November of 21 was the apex of 2021 in total was the apex of the market. Okay. Days on market, We look at this in terms of what's the velocity and rate of sale in terms of our demand metrics and how fast things are moving. In November of this year versus November of last year, there was no change on days on market. Yet there was one major change within the market. What was it? John, Gustavo? Rates went up. Yet velocity and rate of sale did not. What did what? Didn't change. What does that tell you about buyers in this market? They're normalizing to what the rate environment is. They're adjusting their budgets accordingly, and they're still getting deals done. Okay. Interestingly enough, too, considering 2021 was the apex of the market moved 4% faster in November of this year versus November of 21. Again, to me, that tells me that the demand side of our equation still remains relatively healthy and strong. Okay. New inventory units. Again, this is where I went it was the first time in 2023 we had more new inventory come to the market, which was in November, than we had in any given time in 2023. We can't sell more homes if more homes don't do what? Come to market. So the fact that November was up 4%, if we see a similar trend change in December and January and February, we're going to start cooking here in 2024. Okay. Expired inventory units flat versus prior year. The reason I bring this up is we saw a lot of what in September and October? Yes, price reductions. What do we not see a ton of? Unless there was seller motivation, we haven't seen the same trend trajectory of price reductions that we saw in August and September and October that we do now in November. And you can see it because expireds haven't continued on the trend that they were on. So there was a little bit of a market correction there in November. Now, December, you're going to see the expireds go up because why? Most contracts end December 31st. And you're not scared by it because it's the seasonal activity of when expireds show up. But the fact that the trend didn't go up in a time of year when it would typically just continue to rise because of the seasonality, again, tells me on the demand side of the metrics, activity is happening where it's still robust and healthy. Make sense? Cool. So total inventory, where are we? Basically, November of this year versus November of last year, there was basically effectively no change. Total inventory, there was 5,626 units that were on the market in the month of November. It was down only 18 units versus November of last year. Still down. There was some softness versus November of 21, but again, that was the apex of the market. So I'm just trying to give you perspective of like where we were and where we're going. Make sense? Perfect. Now, the other thing that is interesting in where the trend has changed again since we spoke and I talked about August and September. August and September, when I talked about pricing, we had started to see pricing what? Flatline. Okay. And it goes to Jay's point around there was a lot of price corrections in the market during that time. Interestingly enough, pricing for the last 2 months in a row, both in October and now in November, have been up 9% on average and up 7.4% on the median. If you compare that again to 21, and this is an interesting little statistic, when you talk to your buyers and building those relationships of did I buy at the peak of the market? Since November of 21, it's up 18% on the average and up 16% on the median. So we had a little bit of a market correction in August and September, and then all of a sudden October and November, we jumped back up into like the high single digits appreciation, which for perspective in August and September, it was down like 3 to 4%. And I was thinking to myself, ooh, maybe it's finally catching up. It went back. Again, all demand side of the equation of helping drive appreciation up. So what are the macro trends I'm paying attention to heading into 2024? First, here's a very interesting statistic that was shared with me through the National Association of Realtors. Since Q1 of 2020 to Q2 of 2023, average home prices appreciated in Wisconsin up 43%. So think of the equity gain on people's balance sheets that they're sitting on. Okay. Second, as it relates to the labor market, we've had the lowest unemployment rate in the state of Wisconsin in the last 50 years. Okay. Our biggest issue is not retaining and growing people in jobs at the rate in which we need to in order for the economy to continue in southeastern Wisconsin. If you just look and pay attention as to the business that has been attracted. Microsoft is opening up a new $1 billion facility down in Racine, Kenosha. The momentum that's happening in downtown, people are moving to our region, and they're moving to our region, quite frankly, if you just look at the trend analysis, they're leaving Illinois to come into Wisconsin because of the tax environment. That's all positive news for our southeastern Wisconsin region from a labor standpoint. The other thing is there's 4.5 million more jobs now across the national economy than there was in March of 2020. So more people are gainfully employed, which means they're making more income, which means they should be able to get into the labor market. Now, as it relates to listings and mortgage statistics, a couple things to pay attention to, and I shared this with the group earlier in the year. Okay, a third of all homes in Wisconsin don't have a mortgage. There's opportunity there to help people navigate life events in order to access equity. Okay. And the other thing is the average Wisconsin seller is extremely well qualified to also be a buyer in terms of the average FICO credit score, the liquidity that they have within the asset that they own. We're in a very, very stable environment in terms of who we serve. Now, the other thing is 70% of people in Wisconsin have more than 40% equity in their home. So again, going back to the whole concept of they have access to their equity, it's up prices have appreciated 43% since 2020. And the challenge we faced this year that I talked about was 71% of homeowners in Wisconsin have a less than 4% interest rate. So it was an inventory headwind, and we saw that dramatically in the first and second quarter. Now, as people's lives have moved on and rates have kind of normalized where they are, events will happen that will force them to sell. Okay. And we'll get into that here in a second. Oh, perfect. We've talked about this a little bit too, is there's going to be a pent-up sellers who can't wait any longer. So what happens in the next 2 years, 2024 and 2025? 7 million newborn babies. Something to think about, and I'll go through this here in a second, but I'll foreshadow for you. Okay, the largest demographic in the US workforce is 21 to 33. The average cohort of people, if they're getting married and having kids right now, is around 33. So you have this huge cohort that's coming into the market. 7 million newborn babies, 3 million marriages will be created, which creates a new household. Unfortunately, there will be 1.5 million divorces. 7 million people are turning 65 years old, right? Anybody heard the kind of catchy phrase right now within the media around the silver tsunami? Not my phrase, okay? Full transparency. It's not mine. But there's a lot of discussion around the baby boomers coming of age at 65 years old and retirement, health issues, businesses that are selling, homes that are selling, people liquidating assets if they're holding real estate portfolios. There is a whole wave coming up called the silver tsunami that a lot of economics are paying attention to. There'll be 4 million deaths. There'll be 4 million new jobs, and there will be 50 million job switches. Okay. All of those life events create a situation around the home that we need to be able to take advantage of, right? In helping create more inventory and getting more listings. The other thing, and this is only about 2% of the total inventory in southeastern Wisconsin, so not a huge piece, but it's a lever that will help alleviate, is new construction home sales are up. And new construction startups are up. And part of it is the labor market in terms of what those guys are facing. Costs have kind of stabilized. Price of lumber is stabilized a bit. And so you're seeing more construction. The developers in town are very bullish on development right now. If you're paying attention, there's a lot of stuff going on in terms of new housing startups. All of that helps alleviate the inventory situation, which should alleviate the demand side of the equation to help us do more units. Make sense? So, and this gets to the demographics of those in the US labor force. 21 to 33, the largest cohort in the US labor force right now. Okay. 40% of all transactions last year had a first-time home buyer. Average age of the first-time home buyer was 33. That was a lot of statistics thrown at you. Here's what you need to know. From 21 to 33, we are at the tip of the spear of those people entering the market. Okay. And on average across the US this year, rents are up 13.4%. At some point, that cohort which is about going on right now, is going to cry uncle as it relates to rental prices and the rental market. And it's going to say, damn it, I need to get into a residential home and start building equity. And we have to be ready and prepared to help serve those people, which is why I'm very bullish on the demand side of the equation of those people entering the housing market. Make sense? Cool. So I said a lot of stuff and went through a ton of numbers as a way to help you give context to how I frame up my outlook for 24. And here's where we're at. One, demographics related to demand are in our favor. Okay, we talked about the largest demographic in the labor force being 21 to 33. The labor market remains strong. Unemployment remains relatively low. First-time homebuyers make up 40% of all transactions, and rents are up 13.4% in 2023. You know, the average rent in southeastern Wisconsin for a one-bedroom, one-bathroom apartment, it's just now crossed $2,000. $2,000 for a one-bedroom rental in southeastern Wisconsin. You go downtown, you can't get into a one-bedroom for less than $2,400 a month. Something to think about. Okay, inventory. My prediction is in southeastern Wisconsin, inventory will be flat to slightly rising. We saw it in November. I'm curious to see what's going to happen in December, January, February, in order for this to get, you know, even if it goes up 4%, like, look, I'd be stoked with 4% increase in new inventory, right? New construction rebounding will help. People will have to move. People have stable financials with lots of equity. Like, it will create situations and scenarios where they feel comfortable entering the market by putting their home up for sale in a way that I think what happened in the spring is people were in the total freak out mode as rates were going like this. And they're like, I can pause for maybe a year or two, right? So my prediction, again, this is only my personal opinion. I think prices will continue to appreciate, but I think they'll start to settle in around mid-single digits. I've had trouble normalizing how you can continue to appreciate at 10% for the last 3 or 4 years. Like, I don't know if it's sustainable. I said that last year too. I think we'll see, but I think that the inventory won't be able to catch up to the demand side of the equation. So I think prices will continue to appreciate in 24. And my prediction on rates is I think people have adjusted to the rate environment. Like, everybody's kind of used to where they are now. There's no shock and awe to it. And I would actually, and we're starting to see this a little earlier than expected. Rates are starting to downshift right now by early. I continue to see they'll downshift by early 24. Katie, I think I heard you on the phone in the hallway today that you had a buyer, quoted at 6%. John, are you getting anybody below 6% right now? Yeah. Like, the fact that 30 to 60 days ago, you were what, 9.5? No, I mean, I didn't mean you. I meant like. That's your loan application. Mark would say, no way. Right? But they're starting to shift. And the more that shifts, I think, is what's contributing to a lot of what we're starting to see. Okay. So here's my prediction. And it's more of a feeling. If we're flat, if the market is flat in 2024, so we did the same amount of units as an environment in 24 that we did in 23, I'd be super happy. I really would. I think the agents that survived 22 and 23, and a lot of agents left the industry, per agent productivity will go up. Like, I'd be really happy with a flat environment. If the market's up anywhere close to single digits, like 3, 4, 5%, I'm ecstatic. Okay. Some predictions I've seen, which I'm not nearly as bullish on it because I'm a bit more conservative on my estimates, are saying anywhere between up 8 to 10%. If that happens, you're all doing in fuego happy dance. However, I'm setting my mindset right now heading into January. Flat is positive. Up single digits is we're cooking, right? And so my reminders for you as you head into the holiday season to like recharge and reset heading into 24 is you've been through it before. If you're still sitting in this room and you're still paying attention and you're still earning an income in this industry, like, you are resilient and you'll be able to make it through, right? No matter what happens in January and February, like, deals will be had and you'll be able to take advantage of them. Two, you're not in it for a great year, you're in it to build a great career. Don't lose sight of that fact. Let's say you got hit on your butt in 23. Guess what? You're still here and you're still surviving. Now let's make it 24 the best year ever, right? Like, be resilient, show up. And for those of you in the bold room mantra for me this year was time to chop wood and carry water. Like, you just got to go to work. Got to show up January 2nd, recharged, reset, and ready to go, because I think there's a lot of opportunity to be had in 2024. Cool. There's my market. That's what I see, at least, off of all the data of a lot of different stuff I'm paying attention to. And our team, from Diana to Michelle to Wooten to Brooke to Tina and the rest of the group, like, we'll be ready to help you chop wood and carry water in 24. Cool? Sweet. Questions? Love it. All right. With that, we have an exciting announcement. You know, when you look across the world of real estate and you look across the entirety of the state of Wisconsin, there's a lot of land to be had in this state. And you may not see it, you know, in southeastern Wisconsin, but you go within 40 minutes outside of the southeastern Wisconsin region, there a lot of land opens up very quickly, and there's a lot of things that you can do with that land. And so we've had the pleasure of recruiting two incredible guys to the team that are land specialists. And as an organization, this year we'll do close to 6,000 units across all locations in southeastern Wisconsin. You all have an incredible opportunity of people ask us all the time, hey, I just got this question last week. I got 44 acres in Watoma. Who do you know? I'm like, where's Watoma on a map? Like, I don't know. Right. And so land is something and there's a lot of landowners that live in southeastern Wisconsin, but own or control land outside of the southeastern Wisconsin region, and leveraging our economies of scale. And really a credit to Deej. She went out and said, I'm going to go find land specialists to help us build a land division, and that the land division can take advantage of our economies of scale in order to help you guys serve your clients. So when someone calls with 44 acres in Watoma, we know what to do and who to call, right? So Ed and Matt, welcome to KW. Any intro or anything you want to say?
Yeah, it's not just Ed and me. We also have Brock.
Yeah, Brock
on the call. He's on the west side of the state. So Ed and I, we kind of started in the land game right around the same time together, and it's a bit different animal. We put on a lot of miles and we cover a bigger geography. I tend to focus on what I consider southeastern Wisconsin, which will take me to Rock County, Dane, even Sauk, Jefferson, Walworth, Waukesha, Kenosha, Racine. That's kind of my wheelhouse. I'd love to do more work in Ozaukee, Washington, because I live in Bayside and I can walk to Ozaukee County, but those markets are a little different for land. But you mentioned 40, the last deal I closed was just north of McGuanago, 115 acres. It lasted a day on the market. We closed in 3 weeks. So there's very little inventory. There's very high demand. Ed lives about an hour north of me, so we kind of overlap. He can speak to his market, but yeah, we're excited for this opportunity, and we're happy to work with any and all of you. We do tend to focus on the listing side. Buyers will run you ragged in this part of the world, even more so than the housing. Just imagine on a day, okay, we're gonna go look at this 80 acres. Okay, we got to unload the UTV, we got to go tour it. Now we're gonna go 40 miles away and go tour another 60-acre property. It can be time consuming, but if we get the sellers and we can educate them on what their property has, the value, it's a very smooth process. So we're gonna lean on you and we can help you out. I guess I'll let the hat out of the bag. We were talking to Diana about some interesting kind of openers, but one thing to try to get your attention we understand that you normally have a 25% referral. We want to incentivize you to maybe pick up the phone and call those past clients who you know have land. And we want to offer a 30% referral on seller leads for now through the end of February. We're going to see how it takes off. If we get overwhelmed, perfect. We just need to work longer hours. And we're looking to grow. So this is a starting point. All three of us, Brock, Ed, and myself, we all came from the same brokerage, which is based out of Kansas City. Part of our reason for looking to leave is we really didn't get the support of Wisconsin. And they didn't understand Wisconsin. And the three of us have figured out how land sales work in Wisconsin, and we're only getting better. So that's that. I'll pass that over to Ed. And thank you for allowing us to talk.
Well, we need to talk about what's home. I know what's home.
I live in a very small bubble.
Yeah, so as Matt said, I live, an hour north of Matt. I live in, Sheboygan County, between Sheboygan and Fond du Lac. Typically, generally speaking, I work within 2.5 hours of home. So northern Wisconsin, central Wisconsin, northeast Wisconsin, southeast Wisconsin. As Matt said, we have Brock Bolt, he's on the Zoom right now. He lives, between Hudson and Eau Claire. So he can service that side of the state. So, yeah, you guys have any buyer leads or seller leads, we would love to help you guys out. Get that on the market. I mean, Matt's had some good luck in southeast Wisconsin. I saw days on market was like 35. Land can tend to stay on the market a little bit longer. Unless it's priced right, it's something desirable. I mean, we do a lot of stuff that's buildable, where I'm at, where I can sell, it's a lot of recreational type property. But on this side of the state, there's a lot of people looking for 20, 40 acres to build their big house on. So that stuff sells quick. So if you guys know anybody with a property like that, we can get that sold pretty darn fast. But yeah, as Matt said, we came from a brokerage that only focused on land. They had a couple agents that did home sales, but it was land only. So with a lot of navigating, learning about how to sell the property, how to market the property, dealing with the local municipalities, local counties to kind of dig in with zoning and regulations and things like that. So that's what we prided ourselves on, being able to figure that out in a pretty short time frame. So we're happy to bring our expertise here to show it.
And the other thing I'll add to that too, we're happy to help you if you already have existing buyers and maybe you've taken them out on a couple of tours of some property. We did put together kind of a list of qualifying land buyers. And there's going to be some similarities on the residential side, but there's probably going to be some elements to that you didn't like. What's that mean? I don't even know what to ask there. We can help with that. The whole tillable component of it. We're in Wisconsin. There's farmland. That's an interesting buyer. But we've got that market dialed in, and that's actually the easiest part of land to price. The more tillable, the better. It's very quantifiable and easy to figure out and easy to articulate to buyers as well. So, and there's a high demand for when you got that investors. Now we get into the 1031 exchange and all that. So again, if you have buyers already that you're working with and you have questions about land, we can help. If it makes sense to pass them off because it's maybe just you're over your skis on it, don't want to deal with it, we can have that conversation as well. But initially, just to get things going, we wanted to offer that incentive to encourage you to reach out to your seller clients or people that through your personal network that have land. Maybe it's a family member. You got Christmas coming up and the holidays and people get together and they start talking, what are we going to do with that 80 acres? Nobody goes to that land anymore. Well, what do you think it's worth? I don't know. I don't think it's worth anything. Well, we can help you with that because it's worth more than they think in many cases. A lot of times, when it comes to development, they think they're buried gold in the ground, but that's a whole nother story.
So it was we looked up at the universe one day and we said, gosh, there's a lot from a land perspective that dissipates out in our environment. And if we can help our folks service those leads, why not? And we found Ed, Matt, and Brock, and we're like, all right, let's go. And we're excited to do it with them, and they're doing the entire state. So
And the three of us, just to begin.
Yeah.
We're gonna get more.
So, cool. Sound good?
Yep.
All right.
With that, I want to wish Charlie Merry Christmas. He's off we had our cocktail party. Thank you, Crickberg's fabulous white elephant. Now he's gonna try to match the party. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I'll celebrate. So thank you so much for being with us today.
And slide, just so you know, too, if you want to access the slides from the market recap, kwrealtymke.com, we'll post them on there. It should be up there this afternoon. Take whatever you need from it. If you have questions, ping me. Happy to help.
Awesome. All right. So you guys, now let's pretend it's noon and we're gonna start all over because we're gonna rewrap our situation. Couple of shout outs to do. First of all, congrats to Alex for her first closing. And your lifetime has she's got it stacked up. So that's exciting, right? She's off to a great start. So congrats to her. And now we're into November recognition. So you ready? Okay, here we go. Home Run Club, 1 listing taken, 1 contract written, 1 contract closed. Look at this list. So when Charlie talks about we are gaining momentum, if you are standing here today, it's because you've had success, is because you've had success. And this is one of the things that I'm absolutely excited about because this means that business is stacking up for you. So if you see your name on this list, congratulations. You are part of the Home Run Club for November. So that's awesome. Dialing into production now. So these are all the folks who have had $1 million month in the month of November. Huge list. Zach and Don, Nate, Peter, John Ekstrom, Brad Parent, Jeremy and Scott, Lisa, Joe and Jeff, Jay Krickeberg, Tony and Sharice, Ben Murphy, and Tina and Mike Reddick. So congratulations, you guys. Great work. Nice job. All right. Top listings taken in November. We've got Ben Murphy and Steph Sosa at 3 listings taken in the month of November by those guys. Team, the Baumgartner Group, Reliance, Callis, CGR, and All In each took 3 as well. And then Lifetime Realty took 4. So congrats, you guys. Great work. Awesome. Top close volume in November. These are individual. So you're going to see some repeats from the $1 Million Month. Great work. Peter on top. Peter P. Never forget the very first conversation we had. So it was a committed Uber Eats guy. And all of a sudden. So congrats, Peter. John Ekstrom, Ben Murphy, Phil Hansen, Pat Cotter. Pat, congratulations. Mike Liederman and Jen Wigley. Great work. Love that. Top close volumes in November for Team, Medina Real Estate coming in there. Love that. 1120 Real Estate, All In, and the Baumgartner Group. Love that. 50 cents. Gotta have that 50 cents. You got it. Top close volume for Group, Level Up. Great work, you guys. Lifetime, everybody in here, great work. Lifetime, Team Ingalls, Simplified, Krickeberg, and Mindray. Congratulations. Love that. Woo. All right. Closed year to date volume, individual, Ben Murphy and Katie Ninkovic, neck and neck. And the way Katie's putting deals together, who knows how this is going to end at the end of the year. Peter at 8.3, Sarah Papp at 7.1, Dana Lassich at 5.8, and John Ekstrom at 4.9. Great job. Love seeing that. Okay, top close volume for for teams year to date. Medina Real Estate 11.9, Callis Real Estate at 10, and the Baumgartner Group also at 10. So, and then top closed volume year to date. Lifetime at 32, Krickeberg at 24, Mindrite at 20, Level Up at 20. Oh, ooh, level. All 3 of you got right in there. Wow. We'll see. One more month. Race to the end. Hey, I heard that something closed in 3 weeks. Is that right? Okay, so we're at the 18th. We'd have to get it to 3 days. But I think we have a chance. So if anybody wants to break these ties, land volume counts in here too. All right. Now we have top closed units year to date. You guys, please remember you control your units, right? The market controls your volume. So these numbers are pretty incredible. Ben Murphy at 46, Katie 42.25. I mean, come on. Sarah Pap 25, Pete 21, Al, Terry, and Ryan all rounding out for year to date. Team Medina at 46, Callis at 35, all in at 26.5. Y'all can see the rest there. Lifetime Realty, over 100 this year, well over 100 year to date. So it'll be interesting to see where this all plays out. Kierkegaard Group at 79. And from what I hear, y'all have a great start come January, if James Dancing in the Hall is anything to believe. Mindright 71, Level Up almost 71, and Team Angles at 65. So great work, everybody. Okay. You guys, the other thing that we've done is look to our coaches who are training up our next generation. These folks are coming in, they're going to be the amazing individual agents, amazing team agents, or amazing rainmakers down the road. So we want to acknowledge their journey. And here we are with Marcus. They've been focusing on some lead gen. And this guy put a postcard together to stand out amongst all of the family Christmas cards, right? It's you and your cat. Is that correct? Okay.
I recreated Taylor Swift's Time magazine.
We did it. So we're getting some. All right. Well, congratulations.
It's not a slide?
It's up to Marcus to share that. It should have been a slide. Marcus, would you post it on our Facebook page for us, please? Soon, like this afternoon. Yeah, awesome. All right, you guys, couple reminders. If you have moved since you've signed paperwork with us, we're gonna have a hard time tracking you down for your tax documentation. Please, Michelle, raise your hand. Right, she's back there and she's here today. So if you need to talk to her about your new address, please make sure that happens. Let's make her life as easy as we possibly can in 2024. We are ticking away at all of our holiday dates that have happened. We're coming up on this Friday. Again, when we close the office, y'all have access to it. Your fob will open the door. Just leadership won't be here. So just turn the lights off, right? That's all you have to do generally. So Friday afternoon, we'll close down. And then Monday and Tuesday, we're closed down for celebrate the holiday. And January 1st, our offices are closed. And then we're into 2024. And thank you, Tina. I understand that you put together amazing plans or helped people put together amazing plans so that 2024 is another kick butt year. Yeah. Okay.
Great class.
Great. Oh, great class. Wow. That means a lot coming from Pat, for sure. All right. So to make sure that all those deals go as smoothly as they possibly can and nobody gets into, too much trouble, we're going to bring Dawn up to do something.
That's the goal. So I just have a couple of reminders for you guys today. Sarah sent out an email with all of this outlined as well. But just a reminder, we had a situation with an agent who was a listing agent, received an offer. Her seller clients accepted the offer. And then when time came and they got a copy of the closing statement to look through it, it was like, wait a second, what's this $6,000 closing cost credit on here? We never agreed to that. It turned out it was in the addendum A, which had not been sent with the original offer, but was listed as an attachment on the offer itself. And when the sellers signed that, they agreed that that was attached. So the credit was honored. So just a reminder, even if you're looking through an offer that you receive, or on the other side of it, if you're a buyer's agent, make sure you're sending everything because you don't want that unpleasant surprise. But make sure you're checking line 592 of the offer where it says attached, addenda attached. And just make sure that if it says something there and you don't see it, just ask right away to make sure that this doesn't happen to you as well. The other thing that we're seeing come up more is insurance provisions in line 162 to 181 of the GMAR Addendum A. This is becoming a more relevant issue right now as we're starting to see insurance companies either denying coverage or reducing coverage for older roofs. Buyers just need to know that they don't have the right to negotiate based on their insurance quote. So if their insurance is going to be more expensive than anticipated, they don't have it's not a reason to negotiate. It's, they can ask, but there's nothing in there there's not a condition, in the offer that says that, I have to be able to get insurance at a price that I like. Yes.
What if the insurance company denies their coverage?
It's gonna find another insurance company.
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, so just a heads up for buyers, especially if you're looking at houses where the roof is older, just have that conversation with them even before you write an offer that you know, we can't know until the time comes that they're applying for the quotes, you know, exactly what that quote will end up being based on the roof.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna butt in a little bit here. One of the things that Charlie said is that this year, bless you, we saw a ton of Asians leave the market, right? So if you're standing here today, you're doing business today, and we're learning things like this, it's because the people out there anticipate you to be professionals, and you have proven that you're capable of that. So one of the things I love is when you said things like, addendum A attached, I heard a lot of people moaning and shaking their head. Absolutely. If you say you're gonna attach something, attach it, right? If you see that you're expecting it, look for it and then push on it. We had a situation, I know Jay has been begging response from an agent that's just not showing up on the other side. Hurts the industry, right? And it also, if that's you, if you know that there are times when you haven't responded, when perhaps you should have, that hurts your chance to get the next deal. If there are 3 equally exciting offers in front of you and you have a reputation of not being someone who responds, who pays attention to details, you are not winning that offer. And as much as our business looks like it's going to be flat and exciting next year, it's not a great way. Right? You will not be one of them, right? So be professional. Thank you. That's what I got.
Good reminder.
Thank you.
And then the other quick reminder is just make sure instead of reaching out to people on the compliance team individually, just always call the compliance hotline. The number is there, whether it's, you know, Lisa Packard or James Krickerberg, Sarah or myself who's on call. You'll always get a hold of somebody who is expecting and ready for to help. That's all I got.
That second one, that's insurance on any part of it, not just the roof, right? Or is it just?
Yeah, the insurance provision, so in that section, it talks about just general insurability, and the roof is what we're seeing come up most often right now. Yep.
But there is some language in there about electrical, there.
There is.
Call that up.
Yes. Yeah. So and that's one of those things where if you are looking at a home up front and like you see those things, it might be better just to negotiate about them before they're applying for insurance as well.
In the condition report, there's two in there, they're
Yep.
supposed to check that off.
Yep.
So you could always go back.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, if they're aware.
Awesome.
Awesome. Okay, shout out. Our compliance team has handled start to finish an amazing year, full of transitions and issues and questions and stressful situations. So really call out. Amazing job. You guys. Really good job. Okay, so we're starting to wrap up here. Lindsay, are you here with us for Tech Tuesday?
Yes, I'm on. Can you hear
Awesome.
me?
All yours. I gotta turn you up here. Hold on. Okay, go.
All right. So hello, everybody. So just because it's the end of the year does not mean that Keller Williams is slowing down when it comes to feature enhancements in Command.
Okay.
So just last week, they rolled out new custom pages and landing pages. So if anyone has upgraded their website, these were upgraded back in September of this year. That was one thing that was not included with the upgrade, but now they're back and they're better than ever. So super exciting elements added to your agent site. So next slide, Diana, I'll go into some more detail here.
Okay, hold on. Yep. Nope. There you go.
So there's going to be some additional modules that you can go in when you are configuring this, either the custom pages or the landing pages. So you've got rich text, stat lists, testimonials, you can add videos. One of the most exciting things that I think has been added, embedding HTML or iframe code. So agents have asked for this for a while. It's been added. There's additional contact forms that you can add. And then they also added in a couple of pre-made custom pages. One is for a mortgage calculator, and then another one is a why work with Keller Williams. So when you're going in and editing your website, the quick start menu is going to have all of those options available for you to just click on either landing page, custom page, mortgage calculator. So they're really, really easy to find, easy to add, and customize as well. So I do have a few examples just to show you guys what you can create. So next slide should be a landing page example. And this is just showcasing again, like how you can add that iframe code. So if you're doing like a Google form, you can create that, grab that iframe code and embed it directly into your website here. You can customize the header image and then just adding, you know, some additional text. And again, there's additional modules as well. But this is just one example of a landing page that you can create. A couple other ones. The next one is just to showcase the mortgage calculator. So this is completely built out for you. You don't need to touch a thing. And then the next one is the why work with Keller Williams. So again, completely built out. You can go in and edit this and, you know, add some additional content if you would like. But those are now in there available to just click and add to your site. In addition, they also released another upgrade to the Command app. So just a bunch of added functionality to really make these more user-friendly and for you to do a lot more within the app rather than having to log in on your desktop and complete some of these tasks. So you can add and remove neighborhoods on your contacts. They added in a 201 plus profile badge. So if you're at that 201 number for your contacts, you'll see that profile badge. You can also add tags upon that phone contact import. So don't forget, you guys, you can import contacts directly from your phone from the Command app, but now you can also tag those contacts right away. And then they increase the bulk action from 50 to 500. So if you want to add, you know, 100 contacts to a certain smart plan or tag them, you can do so as well. Another reminder, we've got a couple new 12 direct campaigns. So if you're looking for 1 or 2 more touches this year or planning these out for early 2024, these are available as a postcard, email, and social media post. So that QR code on the screen is going to take you directly to the Google Drive folder with all of the grab and go marketing assets. And I think I have one more slide. I should. Yes. Last tech and marketing mastermind of the year. So referrals in Command. So if anyone is interested in learning more about that applet in Command, how to utilize the referrals network through Keller Williams, join us this Thursday on Zoom at 11. So KW is the home of the largest, most powerful network of real estate professionals. Take advantage of it, you guys. It's right there at your fingertips. Logging into your Command account, but you can easily send, track, and receive referrals all in one spot. One of the coolest things about it is that, you know, there are filter options. So if you're looking for an agent in a specific area, you can filter by their production history, their closed units within that certain area. So a lot of really good stuff in there, and we're going to be diving into all of those details on Thursday at 11.
Awesome. All right. Lindsay, thank you so much for everything that you've done for this market center, for helping us grow. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. All right. You guys, we're going to fly through tech and events. You've all seen the December calendar. You all have your rhythm, and we're coming up on Christmas. So plug into what you need to plug into. January calendar is under development. And the main thing I want to call out on here is Ignite. If you have registered for Ignite, I think our office is the biggest show right now. So it will be in the North Shore. Y'all have cars, y'all drive in this profession. You're going to love meeting the people out there, build your network, and learn a ton. Super excited about that. These are your teachers. If you have not registered and you'd like to, we are getting full. So use that QR code right this moment. Okay. And then family reunion. We've talked about family reunion. Register if you haven't yet. If you have a guest that you'd like us to assist in getting there, please let me know. We'll make that happen. Lots of great speakers. And here's the last holiday thing for 2023, I think. Okay, wait. And I did not participate. Well, come on up. I have an experiential door, which I can explain later, but I didn't want to explain it and put it in this because I knew it would blow everybody away. And I'm a good leader and I want everyone to have the opportunity to gracefully exit myself because I knew it was way up here.
Yeah.
Hard to understand even, so I'm gonna let Tina do the rest.
Super hard to understand.
I completely got it.
All right, this is how we're gonna do it. Everybody get your phones out, because here are the doors. There's a QR code you're gonna scan after. We're gonna vote right away, and then the winner will be announced. Because I know if I say, hey, go downstairs and vote, you guys are gonna do it. So I have to make it easy for you. So we've got the Santa Claus is Coming to Town by the Crickerbird Group.
And by the way, miscategorized people, I'm just saying.
Hey, who invited you? We've got Kirk, the snowman, who not only brings Christmas joy, but valuable training videos as well. I find him to be a good member of the office, so
Question about that last piece.
so cute. We've got Christmas Party by Cream City Mortgage. I don't think Gustavo did anything with that. I think that was all his wife.
Leverage, way to go.
All is Calm by Brooke. If you didn't see hers, it's actually the Baumgartners.
Like, my blood pressure just went down looking at it. It's absolutely fine.
Buddy the Elf, mine right. The Stockings Are Hung by All In. Yeah. Quit Elfing Around by Focus Title. And they all have little jokes on them too. So cute. We've got Merry Christmas by Beth Murphy. Merrier Christmas by Angles Realty. Even Merrier by A Plus Mortgage. And by Humbug by Taylor Coolidge. Then we've got Santa Stop Here by Katie Ninkovic and Still Merrier, the light up edition by Level Up. And there's your QR code, and please go on and vote.
Vote now, vote often. Vote for your.
Thank you for participating. Winner will be announced later today.
All right, we are right up on 1 o'clock. Any new listings coming? Yes, Jake.
I have a duplex Common Lives south of 6th and 7th in Blue Mountain tomorrow, 2 and 2, very nice. 1950s, 1649.
I do, I have a full family around Capitol Drive, 97th Street. I don't know the details, I think they're all just 1 bedroom, 1 bath. Probably around the mid trees, nice brick building. They have 2 other ones, a single family, a 2 bedroom, 1 bath, and a 2 bedroom, 1.5 bath. No appliances, detached, one car garage. One of them is, just in the outskirts of Wauwatosa on Big Field, it's like North Avenue. Probably about 1 1/4, and then the other one is about, 48th and north. That are both in Milwaukee, that's gonna be about 165. Let me know if you guys.
Congrats, Sue. It's a nice list. Yeah, go. Anything else? All right, well, if I don't see you between now and Christmas, Merry Christmas. If you don't celebrate, you celebrate, Merry whatever you celebrate. Have a wonderful time with your family, friends. Enjoy. Next week, we'll see you. Releasing you to the wild. Have a great time. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for 2023. Go.
See you next week.
Next week. 12:30. Austin, way to show for your team today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you
that's
do.
my vacation.
You do.
I do.
Love it.
Joe doesn't stop working.
Those who show up rule the world. Good job to these guys. You'll have fun.